coffee every morning. It doesn't look like that. Grammy-winning artist Miguel serving up some steaming hot coffee in the morning. Do you even drink coffee in the morning? Welcome back, first of all.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy coffee in the morning?
I do.
How do you take it? I'm getting nosy.
I actually drink it kind of straight. Yeah.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah.
This is beyond sexy. I had the pleasure of listening to this album, and it's all that. It is all
Thank you.
Soulful and sexy, and it's beautiful. Tell us a little bit about, you had your first album, then the second one, Grammy wins, and all the accolades that come with all that.
Right.
Did you feel pressure with this album, Wildheart, to follow up on that success, or was it the opposite? Did you feel like, I'm in the scene now, I'm good?
You know, every album is meant to be a snapshot of my life, so as I kind of evolve as a human being, I suppose the music should reflect that. So I don't ever feel any pressure to do the same thing or duplicate, just because I'm growing as a person, and experiencing new things, and the music reflects it. So it should sound different and kind of be a growth from the previous.
And that's what it means to be an artist, is not to subscribe to anybody's ideals or what they think you should do, and just kind of be you and do you. And it took you 3 years to craft this. And I love what you said. I was reading something where you were describing it, saying, how can you be an artist and write your experiences if you don't give yourself the breathing room in between albums to actually experience life? How do you write about what means the most to you?
Yeah, you gotta live a bit. But yeah, I mean, that's what Wildheart is about. It's not just about an artist, it's about life. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, what you're willing to sacrifice. Knowing yourself enough to be able to ignore the opinions of others, and how your actions and what you say may come across, because the truth is, like, how we respond to the world is completely, it depends on how we've seen the world, what we experience, and our circumstances and all those things. So.
And for you, a lot of that is living in LA. I know that served as inspiration. How so?
Yeah, well, the album is kind of like set in Los Angeles, and I think the tone of the album is very much inspired by what it feels like to be and grow up in Los Angeles.
Which is, because everybody always has this ideal notion of Hollywood and LA. Yeah. It's a lot of things. It's not just that.
Yeah, I think I wanted to capture the hope and desperation. There's a lot of hope and desperation in Los Angeles. It's a city where dreams are made and a lot of dreams are broken. So I kind of wanted to capture the weird juxtaposition of how that really manifests itself all over the city in the sonic of the album.
You definitely do that. It's beautiful. And of course, you've got dream collaborations happening, like Lenny Kravitz. What was that like, hitting the studio with him?
It was incredible. It's awesome to meet a musician that you look up to and then be completely, like, rooted.
Cool.
Yeah. So it was inspiring and really encouraging. Yeah.
Who's left on your wish list that you would love to collaborate with, like, looking into the future? I know you've toured with Drake.
Yes.
We, of course, are proud of him here.
Absolutely.
Right? Torontonian, Canadian.
Yeah.
Would you ever collaborate with someone like him?
Absolutely. We were on tour with them. It's so crazy we didn't make it happen, but I feel like it's like just, hopefully, happens sooner than later.
I feel like I can see that happening, but like you said, it all depends on where you're both at, and if the time is right. Kendrick Lamar?
Absolutely. I hope to work with him again, as well as, like, J. Cole. I mean, most of, like, my friends, the artists that have similar intention as musicians, intend to be here for a very long time and make music that says that.
Yeah.
I've had the honor and pleasure to work with already, so it's more about continuing to do that and working with the new artists that kind of have the same intention too.
And we've had the honor and pleasure of having you back here, and I said a lot of artists do what they do, and they reach your success, and at that point, they say, forget it, I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning. You're going to perform at about like 8:20, 8:40. They don't do that anymore. Isn't here today, for example.
Well, there's something to be said about, not being able to edit or censor yourself.
and it's inspiring, and this is going to make a lot of babies, this album, because it is hot. It is called Wildheart, and coming up a little bit later, the steamy new single, which I love, is called Coffee. You're going to perform it for us. Where did you put the Grammy? I got to ask.
It's on one of the shelves on the way in the house. Yeah,
and I hope
like
you
in the
left
foyer.
room for many more.
We'll make some space around if it happens, you know. Yeah.
Always a pleasure, Miguel. We cannot wait to hear you. Do you want some coffee to warm up those vocal cords?
Yeah, I think it's time. Yeah.
Okay, it's time.
Yeah.
I don't know who is going to be up for grabs to get him that coffee, but I have a feeling you'll have many volunteers. More with Miguel coming up in a little bit. Thank you.
Sweet dream, sweet dream.